to if you get charged by Spirit Breaker. Early on, you can actually get punished. But if you get a good start, if you get good farm, you can always snowball. And a lot of it goes into, do you have nice farm in the lane? If you do not, you definitely need stacks. So Bounty Hunter, he can definitely bother her, pester her early farm. And if you can also contest some recovery, which is the stacks, then it's easy to shut her down, actually. It's just that teams have not.
This will be March on the Spirit Breaker again, I take it. And of course, the last time he played Spirit Breaker, he went 1-9, but they won. So how important is the way he plays Spirit Breaker more for the team rather than for any kind of anything else?
I think it's super important for MVP because they need an initiator, someone who can force the fight so that they do have these chaotic games. If you don't have a hero like Spirit Breaker or something crazy like Bristleback who just runs at the enemy, there might just be a passive game, which is what I think Empire would win every time.
Yeah, that's a classic example where the stats don't tell the whole story.
Yeah.
I mean, if you play Spirit Breaker as a pick-off-oriented hero, he's going to have that sexy KDA, right? But at the end of the day, the way MVP Phoenix plays, Spirit Breaker is going to be YOLO charging in, setting up. He might have that bad KDA, but he's setting those teammates up.
Yeah. If it was American football, he's the guy who makes holes in the defense or something. I don't know.
I mean, he's the lineman, man. He's there
That's the
to
guy,
create
the lineman.
opportunities.
Yeah, the lineman.
You messed up when you said
NFL analogies. What's going on? NFL analogies? What?
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 Well, we're in America.
Oh, right, yeah. Are we?
Yeah, we've got help. Seattle is in America.
I
thought it was in Canada.
believe they have a pretty good football team here, guys.
Yeah, the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Apparently they can throw them.
Yeah, they throw. They throw a lot.
Don't flame the Seahawks. They retweeted some Dota stuff during TI3 or TI4.
Do you know what?
Be nice to them.
True story, the Seattle Seahawks are my favourite team in the NFL because they love esports. Not kidding you.
There we go.
Actually genuine.
Really?
I've seen them tweet loads of stuff about.
Oh, well, I take it back.
Merlini, we have a PL.
We do have a PL.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I was actually a little bit surprised to see them pick the PL. But, I mean, at the same time, Phoenix can take it any pace they want. If they want to fight a lot, they have Bounty Hunter, Phantom Lancer. I mean, at least he's better than AM.
I think he's a good fighting carry, honestly. If you itemize towards it and take him into the fight, he's pretty good against, he's amazing against TA. He is pretty good against Bane as well, because he only has single target. So right now, there's not much that is good against Phantom Lancer. Even the Undying, sure. Tombstone and Decay, but Phantom Lancer kills her pretty easily.
I always feel like he doesn't really need much to get going either, and to become a pain in fights. Like, once he gets a diff, basically, a lot of heroes are like, well, it goes fun.
He doesn't do a lot of damage, though, I would say, like, in the first 10, 15, unless you have a Dazzle. I think Dazzle plus PL is really strong because of the double heal combo.
I think he's going to need to go drum first in this game.
Important thing as well, if you go fighting PL, you can't skill build like the burning build, okay? That's a farming build. If you put 1 point in Doppelganger and then you go, I'm going to join every fight from now on, you have 25-second cooldown on a Doppelganger, that's not the fighting build. But if you max that and have 10-second cooldown on it, you're extremely hard to lock down and kill. So it depends on how you itemize and how you skill build. The hero is pretty flexible, I think.
What heroes deal with PL? The only one I can really think of is actually Anti-Mage. Ember's banned. Gyro is out. Lesh is pretty good, but he's already out too. What other ones have like heavy AoE? Because they have none right now.
Yeah, they're really lacking in that field.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good
Wow,
job.
Ben. Wow.
Amazing.
Anti-Mage.
Yeah, it's just...
The graph
like,
shifted so quickly. Yeah. I was like, it's going to be so all fighting is a PL. Okay, I counter with your Anti-Mage.
Well, this is what Empire want. They have Undying for team fight, they have Bane and Tusk for some single targets so you can set up the fights, and then they have Anti-Mage to farm up. TA, of course, scales well as well. But I think MVP are just going to bring the action in again, and it's about how Empire can control that.
Oh, goodness. Q-Olina.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, this could be an awful lot of fun as we head out of the draft and into the game. Game 2, MVP Phoenix on the verge of going through the lower bracket at the expense of Team Empire. They've got to hang in there as we head back to our commentary team of ODPixel and Syndra.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for Game 2 between Phoenix and Team Empire. And after quite a spectacular Game 1, I think we can expect some crazy stuff coming out from both sides. Of course, Empire, this game meaning everything to them. They need to pull it back here if they wish to stay in the International.
It seems like every single time Empire has a really crucial game, they pick Anti-Mage, like if they can get away with it. It's been a pattern in this tournament, it would seem, so... It's the strategy they will fall back on always when things just aren't going as planned. At least this tournament, as they didn't, apart from TI, they haven't picked it all year. So that's pretty interesting to see. It's a fact I bring up every single time they pick it, and I guess people are getting tired of that. So let's talk about something else. I like Empire's draft against MVP a lot, and it's because they can't really challenge the anti-mage very well if they just decide to... Actually, never mind, they're running Yoku on Undying, so maybe there is a shot, but still, I would be very surprised if MVP managed to contest Silent very much in the safe lane, so he'll get great farm. And they chose to pick Lina into TA. This is a matchup that Lina is known for losing. Like, it's one of the only lanes she actually generally just flat out loses to her opponent one-on-one in mid. So it's possible MVP will have to help out a lot with Febby around the mid lane, and again, that's just going to help Silent have a very good safe lane since the bounty isn't on him. We'll see. There's also a Spirit Breaker. So there's a couple of variables that they could try to take advantage of here, but all in all, I'm liking Empire a lot here. If they just get to farm the AM, get to win the mid lane on Resolution, and if Resolution has a good start, last game he got shut down super hard. If he's rolling, he is rolling.
Yeah, I really feel that the mid lane is going to be definitely the place to watch, because the fact, as you said, that they're picking Lina into the TA, but they're definitely doing it with confidence. I mean, we know that QO from MVP, he's insane with the TA. He knows this hero, so he's going to be picking that and playing it because they've got a plan, and that plan might very well be Febby just messing with the Resolution TA and really shutting him down in the early game.
It looks like they're going to do that from the absolute beginning here. Febby is moving in, just going to harass him immediately, I would imagine. He's actually canceling his attacks a little bit. Here we go. And it is 1 sentry for Febby against 2 of Resolution, so the chance that they'll actually be able to maintain sentry control in the mid lane is pretty low for MVP. Who has the second sentry, actually? They use it to flop?
Bottom lane, March just getting a couple of bash on it, and another one onto Silent. He can't quite go any deeper for it, a little bit too low. And top lane, I mean, as you said, KP not going to have a nice time against this Aloha Dance Yoku Undying Test combination. Mid lane Resolution. He's got refraction, he's okay.
Empire had 2 choices here, right?
Yeah.
So they could secure their anti-mage safe lane, or they can challenge the PL. They can't really do both at the same time. There's no 2-1-2 setup for the heroes that fully accomplishes both. And in this case, they choose to challenge the PL and hope that Silent can do well one-on-one against March. But what's interesting about this lane matchup is that March has very low mana pool. And the moment you lose all your mana against AM, he deals less damage. So this is one of those awkward situations where it's actually best for Spirit Breaker to be out of mana. He wants this exact thing to happen.
Oh, the cask here on top lane between Yoku and Aloha Dance. They're moving in onto Nuts here. They want to find the Witch Doctor, and the punches doing a hell of a lot in Nuts with the Voodoo Restoration. Will be enough to get him back towards the tower now. He's just going to turn back in. Aloha Dance being chased down by KP. KP should be able to find first blood here, but the sound coming out. Doppelganger forward. They'll find him in the river. Febby's there as well. They're going to try and give this to KP, but as you know, Febby will just take it. First blood there for the side of MVP.
This is a very big deal. This was the lane that Empire set out to counter. And now, of course, the kill does not go onto the PL, but he gets a little bit of more time up here, and will feel a little safer as Witch Doctor, of course, was also part of the kill and does get some experience off that. Meanwhile, bottom lane always want to fly. Still hasn't skilled yet. Very unusual 2.5 minutes into the game to not have put a skill point, but hasn't really found any advantage in skilling either Nightmare, Brainstep, or the Infuse.
With a haste, Resolution has got 3 bolt charges. He's got to use them under the cover of Refraction, but Febby's just going to continue to chase this. Refraction now done for 12 seconds. He's still got 2 charges, but that's 1 wasted. This is his last one. Febby's going to continue to chase Resolution here. I don't think there's any escape here for the TA and Febby. Oh, this is the most slowly, you know. He's not going to... Oh, it's too deep. Ray's out, but Febby really wasting a lot of Resolution's time. They're forcing him to take the long route back to base.
Resolution is losing mid again.
Yeah,
and
off the back of that.
In both games, Febby has done so much. First game, he played the IO and helped out the TA in the beginning. This time, he's playing the Bounty Hunter. And sending Resolution back to base like that, it's not just that he has to go back to base, it's how long it takes. He just missed out on, I think, 1.5 creep waves. And
look at the CS difference.
He was 12 and 10 against 6 and 4. And this is a a TA favored matchup.
I mean, as I was saying in the beginning, they were going to pick it into confidence, and this confidence paying off. We're getting a lot of space here in the mid lane. Bottom lane, March trying to get some harassment in onto Always Want to Fly, but Silent's far. He's just going to turn around, get some hits onto March.
They're barely tickling him. He has 7 armor and blocks 20 damage with his Torment Shield. AM hits him for like... Okay, how much damage do they do per swing? They probably both do like 20 damage a hit.
It's not a lot with that full mana shield. But on the same time, favouring Empire here, the fact that Silent, he's getting a lot more free farm than the PL. He's 20 for 5 compared to the 14 for 2 on KP. So this bottom lane going favourably here for the Radiant. But at the same time, the trade-off is that Spirit Breaker is able to sit there, get a lot of levels out of this. And Bane just not able to do quite enough. And March is turning around for a bash there. Gives him a quick bash. Febby's come up to the top lane. Goku and a low hard dance tries to disrupt the side pull. And now Febby's going to go in with KP with the Spirit Lance, moving on to a low hard dance. Yoku gets a two-man decay off though. It's a little bit too hard for MVP to dive onto that one. And back to the mid lane, and Kyo just continuing to have a great time here against Resolution. Again, just proving to be potentially the stronger player here. Febby's coming in.
Resolution would have gone in for that last hit. He would have been in a lot of trouble, and wisely doesn't try to go for it. I think he actually would have died. He has chosen not to skill meld. He's going for a 302 build. This is a build that, as Waga has pointed out, helps you a lot in the laning phase. It just gets a lot easier to get inside blade range and just farm in general. So you're playing a matchup. If you're behind against Lina, range really does matter a lot. Of course, you don't have the meld for the aggression potential, even to dodge the bounty hunter's ganks, but he's expecting that they will have detection for him anyway. As now, he might need it right now.
Yeah, a couple of seconds into refraction. No refraction for 1 second. He's going to have it now. He's going to misuse it. He gets it off. Only just as it comes off cooldown. Incredibly close encounter there for Resolution.
So close. You cannot get it any closer than that to getting killed in that lane again. And, well, even though they don't succeed, back to base he goes. Kyo gets some more time. Also forced over a rotation from the Bane of Always Want to Fly. He used his mana, has to go back as well. MVP, even though this aggression just doesn't get them that many kills, still winning the laning stage overall. And of course the big hero to look out for is Silent on his anti-mage.
He still continues to have a great time down there. 35 for 12 compared to KP's 24 for 2. The position 1 for Empire working out a lot better for MVP than MVPs at this moment in time. Just going to head up Febby, still hanging around. He's level 3 at the moment. He's finding a fair bit of XP, 6 minutes in. Not too bad here for the Bounty Hunter. Bottom lane, March, he is still finding a lot of XP. He's nearly hit level 6. Nearly got that Nether Strike online. Maybe see him be able to do a little bit more across the map. Top lane, both Undying and Tusk, level 4 and level 3 respectively. Of course, sharing this lane's experience. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can do other than trying to shut KP down. And even the fact that they are both here, KP, he's still finding relatively good farm against this potentially very aggressive dual lane.
Yeah, it's not that massive of a difference for Silent. It's 13 CS is by no means nothing, but KP's also going to be getting a wave here, so probably more realistically.
Oh, they get the light strike onto Resolution. The refraction is going to be more than enough to stop them from going any further.
But they're happy to just get in his head, right? They just keep pressuring, trying to force rotations, just trying to take whatever advantage they can find. Kyo, just look at that aggression coming out here. Even has a regen rune running, so this costs him nothing. And I want to point out the reason this is important.
They're going to go in for this, I think, as well.
Wow,
if Febby can get the hit on, because they've got the Laguna Blade available. Resolution's got to be very careful how far he comes out, and he knows it.
Yeah,
he just goes straight back.
Yes, this ward right here that gave it away. So this is important for a couple of reasons. First of all, it was a lane that Lina was supposed to lose. If it was a raw one-on-one, I think Resolution would have taken it against Kyo, but it wasn't. But the second thing is Lina actually
nice
really
well.
good against anti.
Kyo's rotated down here, has got the Laguna Blade available. It's a question if they want to dive this. I think they might, because Always Want to Fly incredibly low. They're going to turn their attention towards him. March heading forward. There's been a TP in from Resolution, looking for a defense. They'll find Always Want to Fly here. That's going to be the first kill. Stun onto Silent. They've got to be careful at this TA, because now TA is going to turn their attention towards Kyo.
If Kyo knew that Silent hasn't skilled Spell Shield, I think he could kill him right now. Might realize with the damage his spells are doing, but
At the same time, top lane, Witch Doctor able to find a kill there onto the Undying.